One of the most common questions I get asked on the YouTube channel is, what siren is that? That is called a Whelen CenCom Sapphire Howler. And with a name like that, it better be badass. We're going to be installing this badass siren in today's episode, and I'm going to make it easy, and also I'm going to save you a ton of disk space all in today's video. Let's go ahead and get straight into it. I already have the download on my desktop right here. I'm going to leave you two links. The first link is going to be for the actual siren on the LSPDFR.com site. The second link is going to be for the same siren, but it's going to be on my G drive. Now, the reason why I do that is for two reasons. One, if the author decides to discontinue the siren and just take it off the LSPDFR.com site, you'll have another alternative to download it. And then also the LSPDFR.com site sometimes is a little bit slow. So you may want to find the G drive a little bit more helpful to download the siren. Let's pull up our main game directory. This is where your GT5 is located at. Now we need to get this into a mods folder. So if you don't have a mods folder, make sure you right click, go to new, go to folder, and then create one. Just call it mods, M-O-D-S. I already have a copy of mine right here. I just made a new one. Let's go ahead and close out the main directory and let's pull up Open4. Some people call it OpenIV. According to the developers, you can call it either one. I'm going to go to Windows. When you have the program open, we're going to go ahead and go to Tools at the very top. You want to double check that your ASI manager is installed. All three of these actually. So if these are in blue, just do a double check before you do all this and just make sure these are all in green. Make sure you install those. Go ahead and close that out. And we're going to move the program back over here to the left. Now over to the right of the screen, this is the siren download that I have for you. It's going to be a RAR file. You need to have WinRAR or 7-zip or a program like that to be able to open this. If you're not sure what that is, go to Google, type in WinRAR for free or 7-zip for free, and it's all free. You don't ever have to pay for this. I'm going to show you a little trick to make things move easier. When it opens up, take the folder. You can do extract to, get it on the desktop. I found it easier, just take the entire folder and we're going to place it right onto our desktop. Now there's a reason why I'm saying all that is because we need to find this folder in just a few minutes when we go to install this. You're going to need to know where it is. What we're going to do next is pull up Open4, and this is the way you're going to save a ton of disk space, guys, is leave edit mode completely off. Leave it off for now. You're going to see your mods folder right there. Right now mine's empty because I created a new one. But this is how you save a ton of disk space so you don't have to copy over this x64 folder. Because this one here, this x64 is several gigs. So no reason to copy that over into this. Make sure you're out of your mods folder first. You'll see a folder down here called x64. It should be by itself. Go ahead and click there and then go to audio, go to SFX, and then scroll down to these RPF files until you see the word resident. And go ahead and open up resident RPF. You're going to see a lot of AWC files. Now this is the trick. Go ahead and turn edit mode on now. You're going to get a big flag on Open4 and then say click on yes. Do you want to continue? And this is the flag I'm talking about. So it should say copy to mods folder if you're new to this. You don't have a resident file inside your mods folder, or it may say show in mods folder. Either way, you're going to click right here. We're going to say, for example, copy to mods folder. So since you did that, it only installed the pathway and the necessary files in order to get the siren into the game. So that way you don't have to copy the entire x64 folder into the mods folder and just duplicate it, because that'll just eat up your hard drive. So now we are inside of our mods folder. You can see right there. And then this is a pro tip. I always advise people to do this. It's not really a long pathway, but it's easier to do it this way. If you come up to favorites, click on favorites, click on add to favorites right here. And then you can name it anything you want. I found this to be easier. Sirens here, and say add. So that way, say you're tired of that siren, you want to install another siren, go to favorites, and you click on sirens here, and you're right there. Okay, let's put the siren into the game. So the easiest way to do this, you can do a couple different ways. You can go to new, and you can go to import open formats. But I found it easier to right click in the empty space down here with edit mode on. Make sure edit mode is on, otherwise it won't work. You're going to right click, you're going to go to import open formats, and you're going to search for that particular file that you have. I remember I have mine on the desktop, right? I can already see it right there on the desktop. So we're going to go to Whelen CenCom Sapphire Howler, and then it gives you some raw tones and then installation files. My advice, go to installation files. You're going to see a vehicles folder and a vehicles.oac. So here's the cool thing about Open4 is that when you install this, it feeds off of this folder that is right next to it. So if you have some raw files, I won't go into all the detail, you can add it into vehicles folder. And then as long as you click on this, it will import whatever's inside this folder. But all you really need to know to make this easy is you can click once and click open, or you could do like I do, is double click vehicles.oac, and it'll give you another pop-up box. Make sure that you do not click add. Don't do that because a lot of people mess that up because they feel like they're adding a siren. You want to come down here to the word OK. When you click on OK, it'll import the siren for you. And that is it. So let's get into the game. I'll show you what it sounds like, and we'll go through a few button formats. However, if you're used to the sirens, you already installed it, you're good to go. You can leave the video. But if you want to learn how the siren works, what buttons to press, follow me into the game. Let's go. Okay, here we are inside the game. I'm going to show you a couple of different ways you can activate this siren, and this is going to be with the emergency lighting system. I don't usually use non-ELS vehicles, but I'm sure you guys could probably figure that out. But since the emergency lighting system vehicle is a little bit more complicated, I want to kind of go through this pretty easy. So we're going to do mouse and keyboard, and then we're also going to use the controller to kind of give you a little bit of idea how to activate the sirens. So you could do a couple different ways to get to stage 3 lighting, which is how you want to activate the sirens. You can press the J key on your keyboard one time, and then again, this will be the second time, and then third time will be stage 3. And then you can activate your sirens using the number keys at the top of your keyboard. So respectively, 1, 2, and 3, for example, is like this. Here's 1, here's 2, and here's 3. And then you can also go into you can hit the number 5 key, and it will cycle through the sirens for you without you having to activate these things yourself. So it's pretty nice. Now you could also blip the siren, at least on my keyboard. It may be set up different for you, but I think it is the R key. You could blip the siren like this. Just like that. That's the cool thing about having an emergency lighting system. And then you can activate your horn key. It'll be in your settings key. So if you go to settings for GTA 5, for example, and you go to key bindings, it's going to be under cars, bikes, and boats. Your horn key is right there. So it looks like this is going to be the number 9 key. But also you can press the Y key, I do believe, with emergency lighting system. You don't have to have your lights activated to activate the horn for your vehicle. And then you can also press the R key to do a siren blip without the lights on. Then another cool thing you can do with the emergency lighting system style vehicles is get to stage 3 instantly, and that is the Alt plus the J key, and it looks something like this. Just straight to stage 3. I do that quite a bit. But once again, Alt plus J gets you straight to stage 3, and you can start going through the sirens like this. And you can alternate the horn as well. Now for the controller, personally I like to use the controller to drive, activate the lights and sirens and whatnot, and then I like to use the mouse and keyboard for everything else in the game because I have probably over 15-20 keybinds. But it's going to be D-pad left to get the first stage lighting, and then D-pad left again at second stage, and then D-pad left again will get to third stage. You do the D-pad down to activate the sirens. And to cycle through the sirens, you will press the B key. You can press the B key again, and you get the gist. You can also activate the horn by pressing the left analog stick down. And then to shut off the siren but leave the lights on, it is D-pad down again. And then cut the lights off, D-pad to the left. You can also press the B button just to kind of blip the siren if you like. You can press the horn as well. It's going to be the left analog stick. Just press it in. I'm not really 100% sure if there's a really good way to activate all 3 stages with the controller. I've never really thought about it much because I usually just do D-pad to the left and whatnot. And then sometimes if my hands are on the mouse and keyboard, I usually just go straight to the lights and things like that. So I alternate between the 2. It takes a bit of practice. It took several weeks for me to learn how to do that, but I do alternate back and forth between the controller, to get that really smooth driving sensation, kind of rolling up on a subject like this. So the controller, in my opinion, it looks a lot better than doing mouse and keyboard. And once again, if I want to activate my lights and sirens, I can do that through the controller, or I can literally put it in my lap, and then I can just go straight to stage 3, and then we can activate the lights and sirens. It takes a little bit of practice to get used to all this, but I'm hoping you got some use out of today's video. Do me a big favor, guys. Log into YouTube, takes a couple seconds, and hit the like button. Leave a comment down below because it helps it rate a little bit higher on YouTube. You know how it is, guys. Show your brother a little bit of love for this video. Appreciate it. And y'all will see you guys in the next patrol. Take care and stay safe.
Thanks for watching Benzo's channel. Consider subscribing or I will bring 3 Karens to your house. No, I'm not joking.